Hi, guys. Welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Thank you so much for being here. Part 2 today of the absolutely insane stories from the heyday of the Eagles. Actually, I didn't wait around to see how yesterday's did because I'm doing this bright and early in the morning, and I just wanted to go ahead and do it because there's some really interesting stuff in here. Like I say, I don't condone it, but it's interesting. So let's take a look. And we're going to start with a member quit after pouring a beer on Glenn Frey's head. By 1975, the Eagles had begun moving away from their country rock roots towards becoming a bona fide rock and roll band. Some members, in particular, Bernie Leadon, didn't like that direction. He came on as a country guitarist and banjo picker, and didn't like the shift in tone to a straight rock. Constant touring had also taken its toll, and he was on his last legs. One night after the show at the Orange Bowl, Glenn Frey was excitedly discussing his plans for the group, and Leadon finally had enough. Walked up to Frey and said, "You need to chill out, man," and dumped a whole beer on Frey's head. Then he walked out and didn't apologize for another 40 years. They gave Joe Walsh a chainsaw for his birthday. Because of his penchant for trashing every place he stayed, guitarist Joe Walsh was given an interesting present by manager Irving Azoff, a chainsaw. He told Walsh to keep the chainsaw at home, but Walsh had a different idea, and he explained the rest in this interview. He said, "One night we checked into a Holiday Inn, and Azoff and I were supposed to have connecting rooms, but we didn't. So I started up the chainsaw and made my own door. And I walked through it and said, 'Hey, we have connecting rooms now.'" And Joe Walsh partied with John Belushi. Walsh's antics stretched far beyond chainsawing holes through hotel walls. He was a common companion of comedian John Belushi. In an interview with Stephen Colbert, Walsh admitted that hanging out with Belushi could be terrifying. Once in Chicago, the two were turned away from the very fancy restaurant at the Astor Towers Hotel for wearing blue jeans. Belushi came up with a solution. The duo would spray paint their pants black in the alley. Walsh and Belushi returned and were seated right away. When they got up from their meal, the restaurant's chairs were covered in black, and their jeans, as Walsh put it in the documentary, looked like jeans again. It was just the start of their night. Later, they caused $28,000 worth of damage to a hotel room. Same night of the spray paint incident, Joe Walsh and John Belushi trashed Walsh's hotel room at a fancy Chicago establishment, the Gold Coast Hotel. Glenn Frey recalled that the two went about the business with great glee. It also came with a great price tag. Belushi and Walsh managed to cause $28,000 worth of damage. To get to that big of a bill, you have to imagine they had cracked open the minibar too. Cops tried to break up a fight with the band backstage. Eagles bassist Randy Meisner hit the breaking point with the group in '77 after the years of partying in the Iron Fist rule by Frey and Henley. Meisner also had another problem on tour as well. He was sick and tired of singing "Take It to the Limit." Meisner hits a trademark high note, which singing during the song's climax, and as time went on, nailing that moment became a point of anxiety and stress. Documentary sets the scene well. After a 1977 show, the audience beckoned the band out for an encore. At this point, "Take It to the Limit" was the song of choice. Meisner refused, and Frey flipped out. "Well, F you then," Frey shouted, and the two moved in on each other. Police rushed to break up the fight, but Henley pushed in front of them and yelled, "This is private. Real effing private." Meisner left after the incident. The Eagles did a ton of cocaine. Even after leaving a pound of cocaine in the studio for Black Sabbath to clean up, the Eagles had even more of the white stuff to snort. During the follow-up at Hotel California, Henley later explained that cocaine was only a writing tool. It fueled their recording sessions, but at the end, it brought out the worst in everyone. At this point, the Eagles had been playing together and touring constantly for almost a decade. Cocaine became a means to keeping the machine running smoothly for as long as it could. You want to know my thoughts on this? I'll tell you. The Eagles had great music, great harmonies. I loved the Eagles. They should have been in jail. They should have been locked up. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. You get that crazy, especially Joe Walsh, man. Lock them up. And they won't do that no more. You know, they got the money. They can pay lock them up. Anyway, what do you think? And don't tell me that's just rock and roll, because it ain't. Please subscribe. Please don't forget about classic TV, Facts of Trivia. You guys have a great day. God bless. I'm praying for you.